Choice and not chance determines your destiny. Here is the truth you can all go in on. Average is over. You have to be great. In today's environment, mediocrity is a self-imposed death sentence. Work, money, opportunity gravitate to scarce resources, quality labor, good attitude, and unique skill sets. Here is what is not scarce: unskilled labor, poor attitudes, and weak skill sets. In fact, there is a glut, a massive surplus of mediocrity in the global marketplace, which explains why it's not held in high regard. Scarcity is what gives greatness such an incredible value, and you fundamentally destroy your chances of a better future by practicing mediocrity. It is as simple and as straightforward as that. Either you are among the select few who are thriving, or you like most people who are distracted, overwhelmed, underemployed, and struggling. The raw, honest, finger in the eye truth is this: it's simply not enough to just show up, go through the motions, and do your work. In case you're wondering why, tattoo this next to your forehead. Superior performance is not, never has been, nor will it ever be the byproduct of ordinary efforts. You must embrace the fact that in order for you to remain competitive, it is in your best interest to learn what it takes to become great, make everything count, and exceed expectations at all times. The truth about greatness is that people do not decide to become extraordinary. They decide to accomplish extraordinary things. This was said by Sir Edmund Hillary. So what makes someone ordinary become extraordinary? What enables someone to become one of the great ones of their generation, a true master in the area of expertise, the greatest of all time? Is it their intellect, genetics, or good looks? Is it their charisma, leadership qualities, or persuasion skills? Some choose to measure greatness in innovations and artistry. Others choose to measure greatness in physical strength and speed. A good number choose to measure greatness in terms of financial gain and physical possessions. Influencers choose to measure greatness in applause, likes, and accolades. And sports fans choose to measure greatness in sports in point scores, records broken, and contests won. While there is no definitive formula or measurement for greatness, there is also no denying that there are common traits that make great people and organizations stand apart from everyone else. There are ways of doing things and things about the world that people at the top just do differently. And that is precisely what we are going to focus on in this video. Greatness. Number one, greatness requires emotional commitment. Albert Einstein beautifully stated that only one who devotes himself to a cause with his whole strength and soul can be a true master. For this reason, mastery demands all of a person. It is an emotional quality, not an intellectual one, that separates the great from everyone else. We live in a culture that tends to overemphasize intellect, of going to the best schools and getting the right education. But greatness is so much more dependent upon being emotionally committed to the work you are doing. Being emotionally committed, emotionally charged to a cause, problem, or project enables you to go places others are afraid to go, to try things others are afraid to try, and to be the kind of person others are afraid to be. Number two, greatness requires suffering. There is no free lunch when it comes to greatness or mediocrity. You are going to pay a price. You are going to struggle and suffer either way. To live at the peak of your potential, you must choose the suffering that is right for you. You must accept that reality. You must embrace that truth. And you must live with it every single day of your life. The moment you choose not to continue to pay the price of greatness is the precise moment you choose to suffer the consequences of mediocrity, which is the worst kind of suffering. Be very mindful that the suffering cost of mediocrity is always going to be higher than the suffering price of greatness. Number three, greatness requires self-awareness. The ones who are truly great by any reasonable standard have a presence about them, a sense of power and conviction that transcends their current position or circumstances. And like most people, the great ones know in their heart of hearts who they are, why they exist, and what they were born to do. You will be free to pursue your highest ideal once you discover your reason for existence. Consider a few questions. If you don't know exactly who you are, how can you possibly bring your strength to bear and truly unleash your greatness? If you don't know exactly who you are, how can you possibly overcome the shortcomings, setbacks, and challenges that are obvious to everyone else? Your vision will become clear only when you can look into your own heart, for the simple reason that he who looks outside merely dreams, but he who looks inside awakens the giant within. In conclusion, I will leave you with a few thoughts to consider along with a massive blast of encouragement. What more do you need to accomplish to become the greatest version of yourself? What will it take to raise your standards and become the best at what you do? What habits of thinking and behavior do you need to purge to showcase your greatness? The good news here, my friend, check that. The good news is that every day presents you with numerous opportunities to step it up and show the world just how great you are. The world is your stage. Give them a show. You must give every day the chance to be the best version of your life. And you do that by seizing every opportunity to unleash your greatness. It's clear to me that we are all starving for challenges worthy of our secret, limitless capacities. I believe we are all ravenous for a call to greatness, and that is our responsibility to summon it, to call it forth by action and exhortation. You are your own best coach and cheerleader. Therefore, recognize your ambitions, cater for them, and do everything in the spirit of greatness. Inspire yourself, challenge yourself, call yourself out, self-initiate, self-motivate, self-validate. Average, my friend, is over. You have to be great in the new world, or otherwise you over.